Yes, so let's move on to FPL this week. Host, you had a good score, 73. What was your transfer this week?
I think I got in Maddison and Sterling this
Okay.
week
Yes.
for Bitoma and I think Bruno
Martinelli?
Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. I still hold Martinelli and Saka. I have Gusto and Chilwell also in defense. Estupinian, Gabriel was on my bench. Yeah, and also I think this game week, I'm not sure if I should sell Watkins because he is what Aston Villa will have a good run of fixtures, but I don't think Watkins is sticking at the moment because he's a very streaky player. In some parts of the season, he'll keep on scoring goals. I don't think he has scored a goal so far in the Premier League. So I'm thinking if I should hold him or even for a surprise move to Hoyland at 7 million if I'm sure he will play. But then I need an Aston Villa player if I'm not wildcarding soon. So that is my thought process. Probably in defense and at goalkeeping position, I have some issues with Turner and Johnson playing. We know that both of them are prone to losing their spots in the team. And in my defense, also I have Gabriel, who I guess will start playing now. But then, do I want to go for a Newcastle defender? So that is something which is in my thoughts, and probably I have a few options in striker position as well with Hoyland, Isaac, Alvarez, who braced I think in the last week. He did Hall. So he is lucky with his finishing. I think I don't think his XC must be very high. It's just that he has good finishing, kind of like Kane, where he manages to score even in difficult positions. So that is my thought process. Either defensive change to get a Newcastle defender or Watkins out for Hoyland or Alvarez or Isaac.
Yes. So probably if you are looking at Alvarez, you might get some early leaks because we have seen City teams are being leaked a lot of times. And this week, it's the 7:30 kickoff Indian time, which is the second set of games being kicked off. So there are high number of chances we get some leak. But apart from that, he will be playing against Bolivia in the international game, which is again at a very high altitude, and we have seen a lot of players struggle there and then come back to their clubs and being taken given them a rest and called them up from the bench. So that is something to monitor if you are going for an Alvarez. As you mentioned about Hoyland, again the same reason, the fixtures will be turning soon for Manchester United, and he could play a vital role in that position. Apart from that, Isak also, but again the major threat with Isak is Wilson rotation. That is what we are looking at, and currently the way the game has turned out and the players have turned out, midfielders are the main set of players who are getting the most points. So at the moment, if you are happy with Watkins, I would suggest to keep hold of him unless you want to go for a punt or probably something like that. But yes, probably you have still holding Martinelli and Saka. Probably sell one of those for someone like maybe a Son who could be a out of position striker. But again, something a lot of Spurs fans also very not very skeptical whether he will keep that position. So that is again something to keep an eye on. We are not sure because he played it on the striker position last weekend. Doesn't mean that he is fixed to play that position. So there are a few eyebrows there as well. So just keep an eye. Don't jump on the wagon as of yet. If you are not happy, you can hold for one more week. Yes, Son might go off, but yes, that's the risk you're willing to take.
What
And
is your thought on double? I can see that you have double United. I have double Arsenal. Is it time to ship these double midfielders out to get more spread out midfield where you could get an Mbumbo or you could get some other players like for me maybe Ford and you maybe Maddison.
Yes,
What is your thought
probably
on that?
probably at the moment, the only thing which might consider is we if we see anything related to Son, Bruno Fernandes out to Son will be the move if I feel like. But at the moment, I currently feel selling Saka over Bruno Fernandes is something which I am thinking about, because we have seen the way outputs and everything considered. Bruno Fernandes is heavily involved, and the XGI he has presented, and the fixtures again which are favorable. So that is something being considered. So Mbuemo is an option which I will be going on to the next week, because this week he has a tough fixture comparatively. So I'm
Yeah,
still holding on, but this
I think
week
he has
probably.
Newcastle.
Yes. Probably next week. This week is for Son mostly, but again, I'm happy to hold as well to see out how things are exactly going. But yes, Mbuemo is definitely on the list, and as of now, Saka looks the one who will be sold ahead of Bruno Fernandes, unless if there is anything specifically, or we get any news of injuries or something like that, where it's highly recommended to sell another player instead of Saka. But yes, that looks currently, or maybe a Foden as well, because the money game for me was the Fulham game. So not sure, but yes, I am more keen on keeping the both United midfielders as of now for some reason.
Okay. Also, what is your wildcard window like?
Yes, probably thinking about. So there were. I have been researching a lot and watching a lot of videos. So there have been 3 4 windows. So the first window is this international week, where again there are small changes to fixtures and teams which are in the driving seat. So currently, what I'm thinking is mostly looks like a 9 game week wildcard. I will be ending the team in 9, and then switching on to the from 10. So that is what looking I'm looking at currently, and that is the point where even United have bad run, like tougher games. Arsenal also have a tough run of games. So again, that is the window where I need an Aston Villa player, probably Newcastle players, something like that. So that is the window currently I'm looking at, but it might shift. But yes, 9 or 10 is the current thing which I've locked in.
All right.
So for this week, was any transfer plans? You mentioned right already.
Yeah, yeah. I might hold the transfer, or I'll do probably a Watkins or a Gabriel out.
Okay. For me, it will be either hold, or if Bruno Fernandes to Son, if I feel like, or it will be a hold. And captain host this week. Do you fancy anyone? Any Spurs asset as a captaincy option?
For me, I don't know. I don't think City are playing really well. I just think that there is some elite finishing that is happening from the City strikers, but you don't want to risk against uh, people like Haaland, where he comes up and scores a hat trick just like that. When Fulham were playing pretty well uh, towards the start of the game. So I don't want to risk this early in the game. Probably people are thinking about shipping out Haaland in the coming weeks, but
Yes.
I'm not in that bandwagon so far.
Specifically when they play Arsenal is what the plan for a lot of players is. That's in game week 9, if I'm not wrong. Yes, that will be in game week 9. So again, a lot of options later down the road, where we can see Salah coming back into the game, Haaland being dropped. So that is something for future. But this week again, same, we are still sticking with Haaland, both of us. And if you fancy, if you want the outside punch, Spurs attackers are playing Sheffield United, who again can score, and they could haul